the lights, a lot of tech equipment.
Are we good on this camera?
Seated in here comfortably. It's all air conditioned. All of these things powered by electricity. I guess by now we all acknowledge that electricity improves lives and increases life's chances. And yet, as we go through the statistics by the National Statistical Office, only 12%, or as they say, 1 in 10 Malawians access the national grid. A lot of them are the urban dwellers like you and me in the cities. Because only 4%, or 1 in 25, of the rural masses access electricity. Ironically, over 65% of Malawians live in the rural areas. This is the reality that we are dealing with. Must we leave it the way it is? Or at least must do something? Imagine how life is in the rural communities. Studies by the Mzuzu University shows that it is a very big challenge to extend the national grid into rural areas. Why? Because a lot of our rural areas are remote from the grid and they are sparsely populated. It doesn't make economic sense to expand the grid. Do we leave them like that? At Minigrids in Malawi, the organization I co-founded and heads as country director, we said no. And what is the solution? Minigrids. In Malawi, Minigrids can connect up to 4.5 million people. In fact, the Malawi Renewable Energy Strategy observes that 27% of Malawians can better be served by mini-grids than extending the grid. The idea for mini-grids really sparked in me when I visited the Isle of Egg in Scotland with the support from Edgar Trust. We saw how that island is powered by energy systems that are generated within the island: hydro, solar, and wind. And it was reinforced when I was also exposed to a number of mini-grid operators workshops organized by the Institute of Electronic and Electrics Engineers and the Smart Village program. And so, I want to take you on a journey to appreciate how mini-grids can transform communities. We'll be going to the west of Malawi on the border with Zambia in Stolo community in Njenji district. Stolo community comprises 3 villages of Ndawambe, Morosio, and Stolo on the border with Zambia. Like any other village, because they are 12 kilometers from the nearby grid, they didn't have any hope of flipping a switch and get all these beautiful lights, or flipping a switch and cook using the electrical equipment. And so in 2017, in partnership with Community Energy Scotland and with support from UNDP, the GAF, and Government of Malawi, we did that. This is 80 kilowatts of solar mini-grid, 255 panels, battery bank of 125 kilowatt hours, about 7.2 kilometers of 33 kV transmission lines, and about 11.4 kilometers of distribution lines with the 4 transformers, 1 step up and 3 step down, taking power to the 3 villages. Quite a commendable job, isn't it? And so, with it, we have connected over 800 different customers, households, businesses, schools, clinics, you name it. As good as this news is, for me, it's the transformation that has happened which excites me. And so, it was a village that was going to bed at 6 o'clock when darkness sets in. It is now an active community. Like many other communities in Malawi, where when darkness sets in, all what you think is of going to sleep. And with just going to sleep, what it means is more conjugal activities for those who are married. And the reality is, with more conjugal activities, population boom. But in Istolo, the story is different. Doing more productive activities, families sticking together, instead of going to bed at 6 o'clock, at least they can watch something. And you can have plenty of game. And with the street lights, the area is now safe. Previously, they used to complain of hyenas terrorizing the community. It is no longer the case. A 2022 study by the University of Strathclyde to measure the impact of this project found that over 40 businesses have been created or catalyzed by this mini-grid. And over 100 green jobs have been created. And as I said, it is no longer a village or a community that sleeps at night. You can see here, with total darkness, they are getting all these services. The survey also showed that in 57% of the households, children are studying an average of 7 hours a week. Quite impressive, right? And the results in the primary school living certificate exams are showing it, with many of them going to all these what we call national secondary schools. 99% of the people, they indicated that they're satisfied with the grid, and they can easily recommend it to another. 88% of them said that they are spending less than what they used to spend previously on lighting because of the mini-grid. With a lot of savings, definitely a lot of other investments coming in. And in about 69% of the households, they attribute ownership of electric equipment and gadgets to the mini-grid. Once we switched it on in 2018, a lot of them decided to buy fridges, TVs, computers, you name it. And so, whilst previously women used to make do with a diesel-powered maize mill, which quite a number of us are familiar with, that when you go bring your maize there, what it means is you can get out flour that is reeking or smelling of diesel. And so they had to be trekking about 18 kilometers to Mchinji district headquarters or to Magwero in neighboring Zambia to access electric mills. Now that is history, because the area has 2 maize mills, electric maize mills, and the third one has just been completed, awaiting connection. And what is beautifully so is that in the community now, there is a sunflower oil expeller. And the owner of this business, what he does is, you bring your sunflower, I process it for you, I get the sunflower cake. And so, as many of us were complaining of the rising costs of cooking oil, people in this community were getting it all for the free. And what is even more interesting is that with all these 2 businesses in the community, there is plenty of a feed that is generated and is used by livestock producers. So you will see that there are now a lot of livestock farmers, and presently so a lot of them are women. Livestock production is on the increase. And the most beautiful lesson that I also linked with this is that in 2022, as the country had challenges, grappled with the cyclones, when indeed we lost about 130 megawatts of our hydropower due to the cyclones, and experienced a 48-hour blackouts in the country, people in Storo continue to get power. So it's power 24/7. And surprisingly, people from the district headquarters in Mchinji started flocking to this area to have their maize processed and milled. is a clear demonstration of decentralized energy services in meeting or in helping resilience of communities to climate change. Because we are using locally identified technicians that we trained as Community Energy Malawi, this project was recognized by the Ashden Trust, and indeed it was one of the finalists for the 2022 Ashden Awards on Energy Access Skills. Again, like I said earlier on, that the vision got sparked when I visited the Isle of Wight in Scotland. The BBC's Science Direct followed us last year again in 2022, where they talked to us, and we also interacted with our colleagues from Isle of Wight to see how what we saw that time is being replicated elsewhere in Malawi. And beautifully so, we have shown that the mini-grid can generate enough revenues to pay for its operational costs, and indeed, people in the rural communities are more than eager, more than ready to also pay for electricity services, because they don't get this service for free. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, Ban Ki-moon is saying, energy is the golden thread that connects all of us, and indeed connects everything. We all need electricity to better our lives. We all need electricity to better our services. We all need electricity to better our social services. But if we think of just only extending the grid alone, not many people will be reached. If we want to reach the 4.5 million Malawians, and indeed if we want to serve the remote communities, then mini-grids are a way to go. If we are indeed eager to attain the SDG 7, increasing access to affordable and clean energy, then mini-grids have to be in the energy mix. If it has happened in Istoro, as it is shown here, why can it not happen elsewhere? Thank you very much.